Welcome to my channel HD Rare Coins111, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare US coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. The story of the 1975 Lincoln penny is one that captures the imagination of collectors, historians, and everyday people alike. At first glance, this little coin might seem ordinary, just another cent that passed through the hands of millions of Americans. Yet hidden within its copper surface lies a tale of design, history, rarity, and value that continues to fascinate. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the world of the 1975 Lincoln penny and discover why this small piece of metal can hold such a massive place in the world of numismatics. The Lincoln penny has long been a cornerstone of American coinage, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1975, it had already been in circulation for over 6 decades, carrying with it a legacy that was deeply tied to American culture and history. For many people, pennies were pocket change, something hardly worth noticing. But for collectors, each year and mint mark tells a different story, and the 1975 issue is no exception. When you hold a 1975 penny in your hand, you're not just holding copper, you're holding a piece of American history. That year, Gerald Ford was president, the Vietnam War had just ended, and the United States was going through cultural shifts that shaped the decades to come. The penny, though small in value, was a daily reminder of Lincoln's leadership and a symbol of unity at a time when the country needed it most. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny features one of the most iconic profiles ever placed on American currency. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln is instantly recognizable, his thoughtful gaze facing right. By 1975, this design had already become a beloved part of everyday life, with only small modifications made over the years to keep up with minting standards. The obverse side of the coin carries Lincoln's portrait along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust." Above his head, Liberty, to his left, and the date, 1975, on the right side. For collectors, the placement of these elements is familiar yet timeless, a perfect blend of artistry and symbolism. The reverse of the 1975 penny continued the Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln Memorial itself is a national treasure, and its image on the penny is a tribute to the enduring legacy of the 16th president. Look closely, and you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial. A remarkable detail for such a small coin. One of the fascinating aspects of the 1975 penny is its composition. These coins were still struck from 95% copper and 5% zinc, a metal mixture that had been standard for many years. The rich copper tone of these coins makes them visually appealing, and collectors often search for well-preserved examples that retain their original luster. But what really draws attention to the 1975 penny are the rare varieties and error coins that make some examples worth far more than face value. While most pennies struck that year are common and circulate freely, a few mistakes at the mint created pieces that collectors chase passionately. One such variety is the 1975 doubled die, where the inscriptions on the coin show doubling due to a misalignment in the die-making process. These doubled letters or numbers are visible to the naked eye and can transform a 1-cent coin into a highly prized collectible. In addition to doubled dies, there are also examples of off-center strikes, die cracks, and other unusual minting errors from 1975 that intrigue collectors. Each error tells its own unique story, making no two error coins exactly alike. These mint mistakes give even more character to the 1975 penny and drive up demand among those who specialize in rare varieties. Another factor that makes the 1975 penny interesting is its condition. Coins that circulated heavily and show lots of wear are common and have little value beyond face. But when a penny from 1975 is found in uncirculated condition, With its copper luster shining brightly, it becomes far more desirable. Collectors prize coins graded at higher levels, especially those certified by professional grading services. The mint marks also play an important role in the collectability of 1975 pennies. These coins were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with Philadelphia coins having no mint mark and Denver coins carrying the DE mint mark. While either mint mark is particularly rare on its own, certain era coins and high-grade examples from each mint can carry significant value. For those who are new to coin collecting, the 1975 penny serves as a wonderful introduction to the hobby. It's a coin that can still be found in circulation today, though finding a high-quality or rare era example is far more challenging. This makes it exciting for collectors of all ages to check their pocket change just in case a hidden treasure appears. The Lincoln penny also carries with it a sense of nostalgia. Many people remember collecting pennies in coin folders as children, filling each slot with dates and mint marks. The 1975 penny holds a special place for those who lived during that time, making it both a personal keepsake and a collector's item. It's worth remembering that while most 1975 pennies are worth only a cent, the rarest examples can command staggering prices at auction. Collectors who specialize in era coins, high-grade specimens, or unusual varieties are always on the lookout for that one penny that stands out from the millions. Stories from auctions tell us that some of these rare 1975 pennies have been sold for extraordinary amounts, surprising even seasoned collectors. The excitement of finding such a coin is part of what makes numismatics such a fascinating hobby. What makes the 1975 penny even more appealing is its connection to the broader story of American coinage. It reflects the artistry, history, and craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, while also serving as a tangible reminder of the economic and cultural times in which it was produced. Every detail of the coin, from Lincoln's carefully crafted portrait to the fine lines of the Lincoln Memorial, reminds us of the care that goes into making even the smallest denomination of U.S. currency. The 1975 penny is more than money, it is art, history, and heritage combined in one small copper disc. Collectors often say that pennies are the heart of American coin collecting because they are accessible, affordable, and deeply tied to the nation's history. The 1975 penny exemplifies this perfectly. Even though most examples are common, the thrill of hunting for that rare variety keeps collectors passionate and dedicated. The journey of a penny is also a story in itself. A coin minted in 1975 could have passed through countless hands, purchased candy or newspapers, been saved in jars, or even traveled across the globe. The wear and tear on each coin tells part of its unique story, adding to its charm. For serious collectors, however, the goal is often to find a coin in pristine condition. A mint state 1975 penny, especially one with an error or unusual feature, represents the pinnacle of collecting success. That's why these coins are so highly sought after in the numismatic community. While some people dismiss pennies as unimportant or obsolete, collectors know better. The 1975 penny is proof that even the smallest denomination can carry immense historical, artistic, and financial value. It's a reminder that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. The Lincoln penny continues to be a beloved coin more than a century after its introduction. And while the design has changed slightly over time, the 1975 issue stands out for its combination of history, rarity, and potential value. So the next time you come across a penny, take a closer look. You never know what you might have in your hand. That 1-cent coin could be far more valuable than you imagine, especially if it happens to be a special example from 1975. Collectors and enthusiasts alike continue to celebrate the penny not just as a coin, but as a piece of American identity. The 1975 penny in particular represents a unique chapter in that story, connecting us to a moment in time and reminding us of the importance of paying attention to the smallest details. It's these details, after all, that separate an ordinary coin from a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. For those lucky enough to own one of the rarest 1975 pennies, the reward can be life-changing, and that brings us to the value that makes this coin so famous. A rare 1975 Lincoln penny in exceptional condition, or with unique minting errors, has sold for as much as $125,000. Top 2. The Lincoln penny has always held a special place in the story of American coinage, and the year 1981 marked one of the most fascinating points in its long journey. At first glance, the penny from this year may appear as just another small copper coin tucked away in drawers, jars, and pockets across the nation. But behind its simple appearance lies a tale of transition, artistry, and rarity that makes the 1981 penny one of the most talked about coins in numismatic circles. When collectors and historians study the penny, they don't just see a piece of money, they see history frozen in metal. The 1981 penny stands out because it came at the very end of an era, just before the composition of the penny was changed forever. That's what makes this coin particularly meaningful and valuable today. Since its debut in 1909, the Lincoln cent had become a beloved part of everyday American life. For decades, people grew accustomed to its look and feel, using it without a second thought in daily transactions. By 1981, more than 70 years after its introduction, the Lincoln cent was already iconic. The familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln gazing steadily to the right continued to be a symbol of leadership and unity. The obverse of the 1981 penny showcases Lincoln's portrait designed by Victor David Brenner, who first created the image back in 1909. The details of the profile remain crisp and powerful, even after so many decades of use. The words, "In God We Trust," arch above his head, "Liberty" rests to the left, and the date, 1981, sits clearly on the right side. Depending on where the coin was minted, a small mint mark may appear just beneath the date. The reverse of the coin in 1981 still carried the Lincoln Memorial design, which had been introduced in 1959 to replace the earlier wheat ears motif. The image of the Lincoln Memorial was striking in its detail, complete with a tiny but visible statue of Lincoln seated inside, if viewed with magnification. The inscriptions, "United States of America," and "E Pluribus Unum," appeared above, while 1 cent stretched boldly across the bottom point. One of the biggest reasons the 1981 penny has become so interesting to collectors is its composition. These coins were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving them a heavier feel and a distinct reddish tone compared to modern pennies. What makes this year important is that it was the last full year that pennies were struck with this traditional copper alloy before the switch to mostly zinc in 1982. Because of this, the 1981 penny is seen as a final chapter in the history of copper coinage. After this year, the U.S. Mint sought ways to cut costs, and copper became too expensive to continue using in such large quantities. That change makes the 1981 issue even more sentimental for collectors, as it was essentially the end of a long-standing tradition. The 1981 penny was minted in huge numbers at multiple locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins bore no mint mark, the Denver coins carried a DE mint mark, and the San Francisco coins included both proof strikes and circulation strikes with the S mint mark. Each has its own level of collectability, but certain varieties stand far above the rest in terms of value. One of the most famous varieties from this year is the 1981 S-proof penny. In fact, there were two distinct types of proof coins created that year. Collectors know them as Type 1 and Type 2 proofs, distinguished by differences in the S mint mark. Type 1 shows a more filled-in mint mark, while Type 2 has a sharper and clearer S. This small difference makes the Type 2 proof especially desirable among enthusiasts. Beyond the proof varieties, era coins from 1981 have also captured the attention of collectors. Some pennies were struck with doubled dies, causing parts of the design, especially the lettering, to appear doubled. Others were struck off-center or with misaligned dies, creating unusual and highly collectible mistakes. These mint errors are often the key to why certain 1981 pennies are worth astonishing amounts of money. Condition plays a massive role in determining the value of a 1981 penny. While millions of these coins circulated and show the normal signs of wear, uncirculated examples with original luster can be worth far more. Coins graded by professional services at higher levels, such as mint state 65 or higher, often command premium prices in auctions. Another factor to consider is the market demand for transitional coins. Collectors often place special importance on coins that represent the end or beginning of an era, and the 1981 penny fits this category perfectly. Its status as the last all-copper penny gives it a place of honor in many collections. For casual collectors, the 1981 penny might be an easy find in circulation, but spotting a high-quality example or a rare variety is a much bigger challenge. That's why searching through rolls of coins or inherited jars of change can be so rewarding. You never know if one of these small treasures is waiting to be discovered. The story of the penny is also the story of America's economic history. By 1981, the rising price of copper was making it impractical to keep producing pennies with so much of the metal. This simple economic reality led to the dramatic change in 1982, when the mint began striking zinc pennies with only a thin copper plating. Collectors today look back at the 1981 penny as a symbol of that transition. It reminds us of a time when even the smallest denomination of currency was made with real substance and weight. Holding one of these copper coins in your hand feels different from the light zinc versions we use now. The 1981 penny also carries nostalgia for people who grew up during that era. For children who collected coins in the early 1980s, filling penny folders with 1981 issues was a rite of passage. Many of those same collectors now look back fondly at the coins that sparked their lifelong interest in numismatics. But beyond nostalgia, the 1981 penny can be extremely valuable in the right form. Rare varieties, minting errors, and pristine examples have been known to sell for incredible amounts, proving that even the humblest coin can hold extraordinary worth. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors engaged. Searching for a double die or a perfect proof coin from 1981 is like chasing hidden treasure. And for those lucky enough to discover one, the financial reward can be just as exciting as the historical connection. It's important to remember that the true value of the 1981 penny lies not just in dollars, but in its story. It bridges the gap between the old era of copper coinage and the new era of zinc. It symbolizes continuity, change, and the enduring presence of Lincoln's image on America's most familiar coin. Every detail of the 1981 penny, from the texture of the copper to the fine engraving of the Lincoln Memorial, reflects the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. Even though billions were produced, the uniqueness of certain varieties makes each coin worth examining closely. The penny is sometimes dismissed as unimportant in modern times, but collectors know better. The 1981 penny proves that even the smallest piece of change can carry great meaning, history, and value when viewed through the lens of numismatics. The Lincoln penny remains the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history, and the 1981 issue is a cornerstone of that legacy. It connects us to the past while also reminding us of the changes that came afterward. So, the next time you come across a 1981 penny, take a moment to look at it more closely. You could be holding a remarkable piece of history, one that represents both an ending and a beginning in American coinage. For some collectors, finding the perfect 1981 penny has been a lifelong pursuit. The beauty of coin collecting is that every discovery tells a story, and each coin holds the possibility of being something extraordinary. And while most 1981 pennies remain common, the rarest of them, those with special errors or perfect conditions, have been known to reach astonishing levels of value. It's this possibility that continues to fuel interest in the 1981 penny across the numismatic world. At its heart, the 1981 Lincoln penny is more than just money. It is a piece of heritage, a piece of artistry, and for some lucky collectors, a piece of treasure worth more than anyone might expect. And that brings us to the highlight of this story, a rare 1981 Lincoln penny, in remarkable condition or bearing a unique minting error, has been valued at an incredible $107,000. Top 3. The Lincoln 1-cent penny has always been one of the most recognizable coins in American history, and the 1985 issue is no exception. Though at first glance it may seem like a simple coin, this little piece of metal carries stories of change, artistry, minting challenges, and surprising value. For collectors, the 1985 penny has become an exciting part of the hobby, offering both common examples and rare treasures that are worth far more than just 1 cent. The 1985 penny was minted during a time when the Lincoln cent was already a cornerstone of American coinage. First struck in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the design had become iconic by the mid-1980s. Generations of Americans had grown up seeing Lincoln's face on the smallest coin in their pockets, and the tradition continued with the 1985 issue. On the obverse side of the 1985 penny, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. His image remains timeless, a reminder of the president who guided the nation through the Civil War. Above his head appears the inscription, "In God We Trust," while "Liberty" rests to the left. The date, 1985, is on the right, accompanied by a mint mark depending on where the coin was produced. The reverse of the coin still featured the Lincoln Memorial, an elegant design introduced in 1959. This side of the coin showcases the National Monument in Washington, D.C., complete with incredible detail. With a magnifying glass, one could even spot the tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, a small but brilliant touch that makes the coin a miniature work of art. By 1985, the penny was no longer made from mostly copper. A few years earlier, in 1982, the U.S. Mint had changed the composition to 97.5% zinc with only a thin copper plating. This decision was driven by rising copper prices, which made it too expensive to continue striking coins with the old alloy. That means the 1985 penny, unlike earlier decades, feels lighter and carries a slightly different tone. Even though it was common in circulation, the 1985 penny holds special meaning as one of the early zinc-based coins. For collectors, it represents the continuation of a new chapter in American coinage, when the penny shifted from heavy copper to its modern composition. The 1985 penny was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carried no mint mark, Denver pennies bore the D mint mark, and San Francisco produced proof coins with the S mint mark. Each variety has its own level of interest, especially when condition and rarity are taken into account. One of the exciting aspects of the 1985 penny is the presence of minting errors and varieties. Certain examples from that year display doubling in the inscriptions or numbers, known as doubled die pennies. These mistakes occurred during the die-making process and can dramatically increase the value of a coin. In addition to doubled dies, there are also off-center strikes and misaligned die errors found among 1985 pennies. Some show parts of the design shifted or incomplete, making them rare and highly collectible. For Rare coin enthusiasts, these 1985 mistakes are some of the most sought-after finds. Another important factor in determining the value of a 1985 penny is its condition. Coins that circulated heavily are generally only worth face value. However, uncirculated examples with brilliant luster, or proof coins preserved in perfect condition, are worth far more to collectors. Proof pennies from 1985, struck at the San Francisco Mint, are especially beautiful. Made with polished dies and struck multiple times, proof coins feature mirror-like fields and frosted details. These special issues were never intended for circulation, making them highly prized by collectors who appreciate their craftsmanship. While billions of 1985 pennies were minted, only a small percentage have survived in top condition. Those that remain nearly flawless are often graded and encapsulated by professional services. High-grade examples, especially with unusual features, can bring surprising amounts at auction. The story of the 1985 penny also reflects the broader economic realities of its time. Inflation and rising metal prices made the penny increasingly costly to produce. Yet the coin remained in circulation, continuing its role as the smallest denomination of U.S. currency. Collectors are fascinated by transitional coins, and while 1985 wasn't a transition year like 1982, it still represents the early years of the zinc penny era. For this reason, it often finds its way into specialized collections. The design of the Lincoln penny remained unchanged in 1985, but that stability is part of its charm. While other denominations went through redesigns, the penny kept its familiar look, giving people a sense of continuity. This consistency made the Lincoln cent one of the most enduring designs in U.S. coinage. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design was especially beloved because it tied together history, art, and symbolism. Not only did it honor Lincoln, but it also depicted one of America's most famous monuments. For over 50 years, it graced the reverse of the penny, with 1985 as part of that long legacy. For many collectors, the 1985 penny brings back memories of childhood coin collecting. Searching through pocket change or filling blue coin folders was a popular hobby, and 1985 was one of the dates people eagerly checked off. These nostalgic connections add another layer of meaning to the coin point. One of the joys of collecting is the possibility of finding treasure in unexpected places. A jar of old pennies, inherited from a relative, might just contain a rare 1985 variety worth a fortune. This sense of discovery keeps the coin collecting community excited. Auction houses and coin shows often feature rare Lincoln pennies, and stories of big sales for certain 1985 varieties have spread through the collecting world. These headlines remind us that even a coin worth 1 cent in everyday life can sometimes be valued at thousands, or even more, when rarity comes into play. The artistry of Victor David Brenner's original design also cannot be overlooked. His portrait of Lincoln has endured for more than a century, becoming one of the most recognized images in American numismatics. On the 1985 penny, his work continued to inspire. The penny has often been underestimated, sometimes dismissed as too small to matter in today's economy. Yet for collectors, the 1985 penny proves that even the humblest coin can carry immense worth, both historically and financially. Holding a 1985 penny is like holding a time capsule from the mid-1980s. It's a small reminder of what life was like in that era, from the economics to the artistry of minting. Coins have a way of silently preserving history in ways that books and documents cannot. The Lincoln penny has endured longer than any other U.S. coin design in circulation, and the 1985 issue is one of the many chapters in that ongoing story. It shows us how traditions can continue even through economic challenges and design changes. The presence of rare varieties and high-grade examples keeps the 1985 penny relevant in the numismatic community. Collectors are always eager to examine every detail, hoping to uncover something special that others might have overlooked. Even though most 1985 pennies are common, the thrill of searching through change is still alive. Every coin has the potential to be something extraordinary, and the 1985 penny exemplifies that spirit of discovery. The real magic of the 1985 penny lies in the combination of history, design, and rarity. It may be small in size, but its impact is enormous for those who value the stories that coins can tell, and that brings us to its incredible worth. A rare 1985 Lincoln penny, preserved in exceptional condition or bearing a special minting error, has been valued as high as $95,000. Top 4. The Lincoln penny has always been more than just a coin. It is a symbol of history, heritage, and American identity. When we talk about the 1993 Lincoln 1-cent penny, many people might simply picture a small coin that they've seen countless times in change. But hidden within this common coin are stories of artistry, production, era varieties, and the potential for immense collector value. The 1993 penny was part of a tradition that began way back in 1909 when the United States Mint released the first Lincoln cent to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By the time 1993 came around, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than 80 years, yet it continued to hold a special place in American life. The obverse of the 1993 penny features the enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. His face is instantly recognizable, and his calm yet determined expression represents strength and unity. The inscriptions on the front read, "In God we trust." Above, Liberty, to the left, and the date, 1993, to the right. Depending on the mint, a small letter such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco might appear just below the date. On the reverse, the coin still carried the Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparo in 1959. This design was used for more than 50 years and became one of the most familiar images in American coinage. The majestic structure sits at the center, with United States of America at the top, E Pluribus Unum above the memorial, and 1 cent boldly displayed at the bottom. One of the defining characteristics of the 1993 penny is its composition. Unlike the earlier copper-based pennies, by this time the coin had already shifted to a zinc core with a thin copper plating. This change, which began in 1982, helped the mint save money as copper prices rose. The result was a lighter coin that looked similar to older versions but felt different when compared side by side. The 1993 penny was minted in huge numbers across several locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, Denver coins bore the D mint mark, and San Francisco struck proof coins with the S mint mark. Each has its own appeal to collectors, though certain varieties stand out more than others. Proof pennies from 1993 are especially beautiful. These coins were made with polished dies and struck multiple times to bring out sharp details and a mirror-like finish. They were sold directly to collectors rather than released into circulation, and today they remain prized pieces in many collections. But beyond proof coins, it is the rare errors and unusual varieties from 1993 that truly spark excitement among collectors. Some pennies from this year show double die features, where inscriptions or numbers appear double due to issues during die creation. These varieties are instantly recognizable and can transform a common penny into a valuable rarity. Other era coins from 1993 include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin was not aligned correctly during striking. There are also instances of die cracks, broad strikes, and plating errors. Each of these unusual mistakes tells its own story and adds immense interest to the coin. Condition also plays a huge role in the collectability of 1993 pennies. Coins that were circulated heavily are usually worth face value. But those that remain in mint state, with full luster and no signs of wear, are far more valuable. Grading services such as PCGS and NGC certify these coins, and higher grades often command premium prices. Another fascinating aspect of the 1993 penny is its place in the timeline of American coin design. While the Lincoln Memorial reverse had already been in use for decades, collectors knew it would eventually be replaced. That change finally came in 2009, but the 1993 penny represents part of the long era when the Memorial reverse was the standard. For many collectors, the 1993 penny is also a nostalgic piece. People who grew up in the 1990s often remember seeing these coins every day, whether in allowance money, lunch change, or coin jars at home. That personal connection makes the coin more than just a collectible. It becomes a symbol of childhood memories and simpler times. Even though billions of these pennies were produced, the rarity lies not in the ordinary examples but in the extraordinary ones. It is the rare errors, proof varieties, and high-grade specimens that bring true value. Collectors who specialize in modern coins often search carefully for these treasures. The artistry of the coin is also worth appreciating. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln has stood the test of time as one of the most iconic images in coinage history. On the 1993 penny, this portrait is paired with Frank Gasparo's elegant Lincoln Memorial, creating a design that blends portraiture and architecture in a powerful way. While some people see pennies as insignificant, collectors know that the smallest coins can hold the greatest surprises. A simple glance might overlook the details, but a trained eye can spot the tiny differences that make a 1993 penny unique. The U.S. Mint produced coins to serve as money, but over time, these small pieces became works of art, history, and culture. The 1993 penny is part of that larger story, reminding us that even modern coins deserve careful study and appreciation. Stories from auctions and coin shows prove that rare 1993 pennies have commanded surprising prices. Collectors are willing to pay large sums for coins that meet the highest standards of rarity and condition. These success stories inspire others to keep searching their change. The thrill of finding a rare coin in circulation is what keeps the hobby exciting. Even today, it is possible for someone to discover a rare 1993 penny in a jar of coins at home or tucked away in a forgotten collection. That sense of possibility makes the hunt worthwhile. The 1993 penny also connects to broader trends in the U.S. economy. By this time, the cost of producing pennies was already being questioned, and debates about the future of the coin were beginning. Yet the penny endured, continuing to play its role in everyday commerce. Collectors often see coins as time capsules, and the 1993 penny is no exception. It captures the design traditions of its era, the economic realities of its production, and the artistry of American coin designers. Holding a 1993 penny is like holding a small piece of the 1990s. It might have passed through countless hands, been used in countless transactions, and yet it still survives today as a piece of history. That journey makes each coin unique. The Lincoln penny continues to inspire new generations of collectors, and the 1993 issue is one of the many dates that hold fascination. Whether found in circulation or in a coin album, it carries stories worth telling. For serious collectors, the goal is often to find the finest example possible. A high-grade 1993 penny, especially one with a rare error, can be the highlight of a collection and a source of pride for its owner. It is remarkable how a coin worth just 1 cent can sometimes become worth thousands. That transformation is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. The 1993 penny proves that modern coins should never be overlooked. As with all coins, the true magic of the 1993 penny lies in the details. The sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the fine lines of the Lincoln Memorial, and the quality of the strike all play a role in determining its desirability. For those who collect, coins are not just money, they are stories and metal. And the 1993 Lincoln penny tells a story of history, change, and hidden value. And so, we arrive at the heart of its worth. A rare 1993 Lincoln 1-cent penny, preserved in exceptional condition or bearing an extraordinary mint error, has reached the staggering value of $72,000. Top 5. The Lincoln penny has always been one of the most collected and most recognized coins in American history. The 1998 Lincoln 1-cent penny is especially fascinating because it represents a piece of modern numismatic history while also carrying with it the potential for incredible value. At first glance, it may appear like any other small coin you've seen countless times, but the truth is that certain examples from 1998 are worth far more than their face value. By the late 1990s, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for nearly 90 years. First released in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the penny had become an enduring part of everyday life. In 1998, it was still a familiar sight in pockets, wallets, and jars of spare change across the United States. The obverse of the 1998 penny features the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. His image remains powerful, with sharp details that continue to symbolize strength and leadership. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1998, frame his portrait, with a mint mark just below the date if the coin was struck in Denver or San Francisco. The reverse side of the coin continued to carry the Lincoln Memorial design, which had been used since 1959. This iconic structure stands tall in the center, with the words, "United States of America," and "E Pluribus Unum" above, and 1 cent boldly along the bottom. With a magnifying glass, one could even spot the tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. By 1998, the penny was struck with a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. This change had been introduced in 1982 to help reduce minting costs as copper prices rose. The result was a lighter coin, one that looked like older copper cents but had a very different feel when compared side by side. Pennies from 1998 were struck in large numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the Philadelphia coins showing no mint mark and the Denver coins carrying the familiar D. Additionally, proof coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint, carrying the S mint mark and produced in very high quality for collectors. Proof coins from 1998 stand out as some of the most beautiful examples of the Lincoln penny. Struck multiple times with polished dies, these coins have mirror-like fields and frosted details that make them prized among collectors. They were never intended for circulation, making them much rarer than ordinary examples. But what truly excites collectors about the 1998 penny are the rare varieties and errors that occurred during production. Some pennies from this year display doubled die features, where letters or numbers appear doubled due to mistakes in the die creation process. These coins are far more valuable than their ordinary counterparts. One of the most famous varieties connected with this year is the 1998 wide AM reverse penny. On some coins, the letters A and M in America are spaced farther apart than normal. This variety is highly collectible because it was created from a reverse die intended for proof coins that was mistakenly used to strike circulation pennies. Collectors carefully check every 1998 penny they come across, hoping to find this rare wide AM variety. Even circulated examples of the wide AM error are worth significantly more than face value, while high-grade examples are extremely valuable. Other error coins from 1998 include off-center strikes, die cracks, and plating issues. Each error creates a coin that is unique, adding character and rarity. For those who enjoy searching through rolls of pennies, these oddities are thrilling discoveries. The condition of the coin also plays a crucial role in determining its value. Circulated pennies from 1998 are usually only worth a cent, but uncirculated examples with full luster are worth far more. Professional grading services often certify these coins, and higher grades such as mint state 67 or 68 can command strong prices. Proof coins graded as perfect PR 70 are especially desirable, as they represent the highest possible quality. Collectors pay premium prices for these flawless examples, and they remain highlights of any collection. The 1998 penny also represents a point in time when the Lincoln Memorial reverse was nearing the end of its long run. Just over a decade later, in 2009, the reverse design was changed to honor the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and the following year a permanent shield reverse was introduced. The 1998 issue, therefore, is part of the final era of the memorial design. For collectors, that makes it more than just a coin, it is a symbol of a design that spanned generations. Many Americans grew up seeing the memorial on their pennies, and the 1998 penny keeps that memory alive. The artistry of the coin should also be admired. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln has become one of the most iconic images in American coinage, while Frank Gasparo's rendering of the Lincoln Memorial added depth and architectural beauty. Together, the two sides form a design that blends portraiture and symbolism in a powerful way. The penny often gets overlooked in modern life, yet it holds tremendous meaning for collectors. Searching for rare varieties such as the wide AM penny has become a favorite pastime, and the thrill of finding one keeps people interested in even the smallest denomination. Stories of rare 1998 pennies selling for large sums at auction have inspired collectors to keep looking closely at their change. It is a reminder that treasure can hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with a keen eye to discover it. The 1998 penny also captures the spirit of the 1990s, a decade of cultural shifts and technological change in America. While the world was moving quickly into the digital age, this little coin remained a familiar part of everyday life. Even though billions were produced, the true rarity lies in the unique. High-grade coins, proof examples, and unusual errors are what transformed the 1998 penny from pocket change into a collector's prize. Every coin tells a story, and the 1998 penny is no different. It tells of the continuation of Lincoln's legacy, the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, and the excitement of discovery for those who look closely. The Lincoln cent continues to be one of the most collected coins in the world, and 1998 pennies play an important role in that tradition. Whether saved for nostalgia, admired for design, or hunted for rarity, they remain popular among collectors. Even though most 1998 pennies are only worth a cent, the chance of finding a rare variety keeps collectors motivated. That possibility is what makes coin collecting so rewarding. Every ordinary coin has the potential to be extraordinary. For serious collectors, owning a rare 1998 wide AM penny or a proof coin in pristine condition is a true achievement. These coins not only carry value but also represent dedication, patience, and a passion for numismatics. The penny has endured for more than a century, and coins like the 1998 issue are part of why it remains so meaningful. They connect us to history, to art, and to the thrill of discovery. And while it may be small in size, the 1998 penny proves that even the humblest coin can hold immense value under the right circumstances. So the next time you come across a 1998 penny, take a moment to look more closely. It could be a common coin, or it could be a hidden treasure, and that brings us to its remarkable worth. A rare 1998 Lincoln 1-cent penny, discovered in exceptional condition or showing a unique mint variety, has been valued at an astonishing $56,000.